I'm on the songs like Real Player for You, songs like Superstar, Fat Pat, Platinum in the Ghetto with Lil Kiki.
Superstar.
Yeah.
That's one of my
ESG.
favorite songs right there.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
Man.
It's
Player
classics.
haters want to know who you are.
When you're coming down like a superstar,
Already.
if you really want to know who it be, it's Fat Pat and that boy Mike D.
Huh.
And everybody know Platinum in the Ghetto.
Alright.
Living my dream cause it's all I know. Keeping my head up everywhere I go. Making my cash, baby, that's for sure. Come on, they got me Platinum in the Ghetto.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl Angel, and you're locked into Fame Train TV. Here with me tonight is the one and only, the legendary Billy Cook in the building. What's up, Billy Cook?
Hey, what's going on, Angel?
Alrighty, got your manager with you here today, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty, what's up, Tony? Hitman. Oh, shit. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, most people know that, you've been in the game for many years and you have made so many contributions. One of the reasons I'm so happy to have you here is because a lot of people don't know all of the contributions that you've made. So I want to run it down today. I want to start, but let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
You're from Houston.
From not originally.
Okay, where are you from originally?
Originally from East Texas.
And what brought you to this way?
What brought me to Houston was my dad was in the Army. My daddy traveled a lot.
Oh, okay.
And pretty much wherever he went, of course, family tagged along. But I always had a knack. Something was drawing me, into sports and music along the way.
So tell me, who were some of the people that influenced you in the music industry? Like coming up, who are the people that you always wanted to listen to on the radio?
Johnny Taylor, most of the blues singers, Babyface,
Oh, yeah.
Keith Sweat. There was an era of R&B
Right.
that I grew up and around.
Right.
So I started gravitating towards that, and that's where I think I started finding an attraction to that style of music. And then when they found out that I could sing, they never would. I couldn't. Not that I couldn't stop. They would not stop asking me to sing. So
Okay.
I wound up getting drafted into that.
Okay, really? And when you say you got drafted, was that by fans or by people in the music industry?
People in the family.
Oh, okay.
People in church. In the church, most of them were musicians. So I had a different type of lifestyle, different type of upbringing, but everybody worked hard. So I grew up working hard. I knew that if it's something that I wanted to do, I was going to have to work hard at it.
So who gave you your first shot in the business?
My first shot in the business was who's my manager right now is Cynthia Cook.
Okay.
She's my wife, and she's also my manager too. Her and Tony together they manage me. I've had managers along the way, but I also had constituents. I've had comrades. I've had companions in this industry along the way that actually gave me my universal style and flow or well-being in the music.
So what would you say was your first really big opportunity in the music industry where you got, your most recognition from?
Well, the start of it all was being on tour with Silk, Frankie Beverly and Mays, and R. Kelly, but that was due to a young man by the name of Kerry Douglas.
Okay.
My manager at the time, Cynthia, she introduced me to Kerry Douglas. Mm-hmm. Kerry Douglas was managing an artist named Jay Real at the time, and a group called Explicit.
Okay.
One of the group members couldn't be there, so they recruited me to fill in that spot with the group Explicit, and backed up Jay Real on the tour with Silk, Frankie Beverly Mays, and R. Kelly. I was new, I was young. Like I said, I wasn't used to all of that fame. I was used to, hey, I just want to sing.
Right.
I just want to be heard. And
Right.
to this day, it's the same thing.
So tell us, who are some of the people here in Houston that you worked with? Let's hear some of the artists that you've worked with.
Starting out back in the day, my first guest appearance on a record was Fat Pat,
Okay.
Underground, but I was on Rap-A-Lot Records at the time. And from Rap-A-Lot Records and appearing on Fat Pat's album, the Ghetto Dreams album, I wind up performing or guest appearing on Big Mike's album
Okay.
from the Ghetto Boys
Right.
at the time, but he was releasing an album called Something Serious.
Right.
And
Fat
the song,
Pat?
and yes.
Shout out Big Mike.
Oh yeah, shout out to these guys. These guys are pioneers. Rest in peace, Fat Pat.
Right.
A legend in the game. But with Fat Pat and then gravitating towards Big Mike from the Ghetto Boys led me to a lot of the records, along the way.
Right.
That brings me here. I featured on over 600, I'm gonna say 500 albums, but mainly when you look at how many songs I've appeared on, was probably over 700.
That's amazing.
The most requested feature in the industry of music out of Texas. In the beginning, I did those records. I jumped on those records for free. And later on, people started asking me how much did I charge.
Was it just to get yourself out there?
I just wanted to be heard. It wasn't about I want to be heard and get paid. I wanted to be heard. I want somebody to recognize me.
Right.
I built great relationships, but it's not even about me. It's about what I want to be heard enough to where I can go. Hopefully, I can impact more people than just the people in my circle.
Right.
Because a lot of people think their circle is real big, but sometimes your circle is just real small. But it's just that sometimes you've outgrown your circle.
That's very true. That happens a lot.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you have to outgrow your circle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I know that's happened to me, where you started off with people, and along the way they, things happen. They move around. So you all make it to the same place, but we have different journeys of how we get there.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your most impactful work?
My most impactful record, and still is to this day, and you cannot get away from it, has been Superstar Fat Pat. My greatest featured work. Unfortunately, my name is not on that record, but people know that it's me.
Why is your name not on the record?
Well, the reason being is because you want to do great business. I'm gonna say it was me, opposed to anybody else. Management always, they're telling you got to get paid for your work, you got to get paid for your services. You say, oh no, they cool, they real good people, but sometimes people drop the ball. Cool people drop the ball too as well. So when you jump on people's records, you're not thinking about that when you're trying to hear them get the record out, because you got a hot single and you got a buzz. So you're moving within the buzz, but then you forgot along the way to say, let me tidy up,
let me get my business
let me cross
straight.
the T's,
Yes.
let me dot the I's, and
Right.
that's just how sometimes you get lost in the shuffle, especially when you were probably the first person on the record. And I've been the first on appearing on a lot of records, that my name got left off of, because by the time you get off into the album, you didn't know that you was going to use that song.
So tell me, what label are you representing right now?
My label is the Baptiste Music Group 1965. BMG 1965 for short. We're going to take some of the best songs from those records, create Billy Cook's greatest sounds, not greatest features or greatest records, the greatest sound that's in compliance with where I want to go in life as far as the next record that I put out.
So tell me, Tony, what's up with you over there? How did you two kind of link up in this business?
Oh, man.
How long you guys been working together?
About 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So y'all more like family then.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
but I was always a fan of his. I heard him on Fat Pat.
Yeah.
I used to listen to the song and I'm like, man, I was trying to break in the industry. And I'm like, man, one day.
As a manager?
No, I was just me as a producer.
Oh,
I
okay.
started
So
off
you
as a
produce
producer.
music. Okay.
Right. And I'm like, man, I got to work with him. I used to tell my wife all the time, I got to work with him one day.
Well, tell me this. What project are you working on now?
The So Iconic, the Decade.
So Iconic.
Yeah, So Iconic, yeah.
Right. So
album
when
was
when
fire.
can we look forward to the album?
The album, I haven't even considered giving it a date right
Okay.
now.
So kind of in the very early stages of it?
Right, I've been
Okay.
releasing a little bit here and there just for people to hear, but I will be releasing some singles. I will be doing that. Don't know the singles yet, but want them to stay tuned to my social media page, my Facebook or my Instagram. That's where I post at the most.
And
Billy
what
Cook-
and what are those while you're on the topic?
My Facebook is Billy Cook Houston,
Okay. Billy
and,
Cook Houston.
and my Instagram is Billy Cook H Town.
Okay. Billy Cook H Town
Yeah.
on
Or you can
Instagram.
type in the real Billy Cook.
Yeah,
The real
Cook.
Billy Cook.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, that's my Instagram. My bad.
Yeah, that's
My
like
Instagram
Oh,
is the
okay.
real Billy
See?
Cook. See?
real
You know,
Billy
so
Cook.
Got
'cause
your back
I have
up there
so
for
much up here, but it's always good to have somebody who can have a recap and who knows what you're doing, because
Right.
he handles 90% of my content. A lot of people always say, "Man, Billy Cook, what is he doing right now? Is he just doing music, or is he doing that coffee thing?" I've been doing business.
Okay.
You know, I don't do things. I do business. Also, a lot of the records. I know you asked me a question earlier, and I didn't want to deviate from that. But I have recorded.
Yeah, run them down.
I've recorded on artists' albums like the Swisher House, also artists like Killer Caleon, Chameleonaire, Paul Wall, Zero, a lot of Zero and Trey. When I came to Houston,
Zero.
Oh yeah,
Trey the Truth.
Yeah. Shout out to these guys because we featured on a lot of records together with 3-2. Rest in peace, 3-2.
3-2.
A lot of people always say, you represent SUC. Everybody got their own labels, but they still represent SUC. You got a lot of affiliates. You got a lot of people who at the time that met DJ Screw had relationships with him and built something different, but the other person might not know. And but at least they are SUC or there's some kind of way affiliated, or the same with Swisher House. It's a lot of independent labels that did great here, and they're still doing great. But other artists I've been able to work with.
Lil Flip.
Shout out Lil Flip.
Shout out to all my guys, man. Lil O.
SPC Club.
Also, man,
everybody, man.
Kuda Bang. Everybody on the Swisher House. Also, you have Big Pokey. You have
shout out Big Pokey.
Yeah, Big Pokey. Shout out to him.
That's like one of my favorite freestyle artists in the Screwed Up Clique.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorites.
Some other artists I work with, because I know I don't want to forget everybody. Also, Talent, the Cook Boys, my brothers, working with them. We got albums coming out, and some of those guys are on this album too as well. I have a few features. I have K Reno. Shout out to K Reno.
Shout out K Reno.
Did some work with
you did with Cliche.
Shout
out
Kano.
Already.
Man, everybody. I work with everybody. I'm not old in the industry, but I'm a grandfather of what I've been able to do successfully as far as helping with the direction of how the South sounds with certain classic records.
Right.
Bun B.
Bun B.
Shout out Bun B.
Shout out to Bun B. A-Ball and MJG. I work with them.
Man, that was like one of my favorite rap groups. A-Ball, MJG. I still love their music.
Oh
man.
Yeah. Also with some guys from Project Pat.
Okay.
Who else? Skinny Pimp. Work with him he's on the record.
Juvenile
used to be a part of UTP with Juvie.
Yeah.
Skip Wacko, Young Buck, Corey C. And,
shout out Skip and Juvenile. The Hot Boys.
Oh yeah.
Scarface.
Scarface.
Shout out Face.
Man.
You're going to be here all day.
Fifth Ward Boys.
Fifth Ward Boys.
Everybody's record, a lot of back in the day from
Botany Boys.
Shout out to the Botany Boys.
Man. Little
I'm trying to think of
Lil Head.
Lil Head, yeah.
Yeah.
Waltz Nest.
Waltz Nest. Used to be a Waltz Nest, but a lot of artists on Waltz Nest work with them too as well. I'll be here all day, but just do your Google search.
Already.
That's all I can say. Google me. Literally. Most people always say, man, Google me, I'm online. Look here.
One or two things.
That's going to be your shortcut, honestly, with me. Google. Put Billy Cook. You'll see a whole lot of stuff come out. You'll see Billy Cook National Anthem. You'll see when I was a kid on there. I'm still a kid. Yeah. I'm still 21.
Yeah, that was the one thing. Shout out Cap. I was talking to Cap, Mr. Cap International.
Mr. Cap, I'm on his album.
And I was like, Cap, tell me the 3 things that you consider to be Billy Cook's top accomplishments. I asked him this about you.
Wow.
And the first thing he shouted out was the national anthem.
Yeah, that is a major accomplishment.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I mean, I could literally just go on and on with you about all of your accomplishments and everything that you've done. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Before you go, do you want to give any shout outs to anybody before you go?
I do. First of all, I want to thank Tony for showing up with me here. I don't always ask a whole lot of people, but he's been consistent. He and Cynthia, I don't have a great deal of management, but I do have people in certain areas that actually help, who are considered part of my management team, like Dwayne Crow. He's out in California right now. And then my brother, he helps me out a lot too, so I consider him part of my management team. Feel Good Music. His name is Marcel Casanova. Marcel Casanova. Because you're going to see him on my record, you can be like, man, who is that fly guy on the record, man? Out singing you. And I'm going to say, that's my brother, Marcel Casanova. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to Upside Productions. Shout out to to Cynthia Cook. Shout out to everybody on board. Shout out to Ken Rothstein. People that I've been able to help with your record. Shout out to you all too as well. It's a lot of y'all. Shout out to the people that still believe in Billy Cook, AKA Mr. So Iconic. And and also thank you guys and everybody that was here that actually was able to make sure that we look good on camera today.
Alrighty, that's what's up.
So appreciate y'all and you for arranging this wonderful opportunity for me to be able to share a portion of my story. I most definitely want to make sure that it's incorporated or you're incorporated in when I do my DVD documentary, because there's not a whole lot of people who want to know the inside story of where I came from. It's really more in depth. You guys are right now, people that are watching, you're actually getting a taste or polished version of it. It's really more meaty and saucy. It's more gumbo in my whole entire story, the existence of where Billy Cook came from, who he is, what he had to endure. And that's what I've always been doing. But they always told me to be coachable, teachable, and trainable in your music with people that you're trying to do music with. Listen first before you speak.
That's right. More listening, less speaking. You heard it from the legend, Billy Cook. Thank you so much again for being here. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Come back.
I sure will.
You definitely are welcome anytime to come back. Let us know how you're doing on your journey. I'm honored to be a part of whatever you have going on.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for that. And thank you also for tuning in to Fame Train TV tonight. You guys have a blessed night. That's what's up. Alrighty.